All right, y'all, it's your girl KJM, and I'm back with a part 2 for Autumn at Apple Hill. Please go ahead and watch part 1 where I go into the whole premise of this movie and why I gave it a 9 out of 10. Now for part 2, I want to say, okay, so they're going to throw this Halloween party for in at Apple Hill to raise this extra 15% of profits in one night. It's super ambitious, but Luke thinks it's really possible. Elise believes in him, so she goes along with the plan, and the town helps. We have like the senior citizens, helping with the decorations. We have some of the local restaurants helping with the food, which happen to be some of Luke's friends. And it just was like a wonderful thing. So, okay, what made this movie different is a lot of Hallmarkies complain that there's usually an argument between the two characters, and it's like some dumb misunderstanding that if they communicated. We did not have that in this movie. In Hallmark, I can't tell you how much I am so grateful for that. We had two people that were falling in love and communicating their everyday demands with their businesses while trying to get to know each other better. I will tell you this. There is a scene where Elise takes Luke to his childhood home, and they have like a picnic inside his childhood home. And they're drinking wine and they're eating and they're laughing. And I could actually feel the emotions of these two people falling in love. And the beauty of them being someplace which she surprised him with. His childhood home was now on the market, so she knew it was empty. The beauty of them being someplace that means so much to him while they're starting their new chapter together, probably unbeknownst to both of them, was just like, it was actually breathtaking. There were some scenes and some shots in this movie where it kind of gave me that Christmas at Cherry Lane feeling where you know you're part of something bigger. This isn't just about saving an inn. This is about two people connecting. And when the chemistry is good with the two leads, it's so amazing to see that connection. And we don't always see that connection. And so I'm really surprised how much I love this movie, but I'm also surprised that I was watching it at night. I was like multitasking, and yet I found myself in some scenes where my heart was just like skipping a beat, and I'm rooting for these two. Ultimately, Elise doesn't make enough money for the Halloween party, but the Halloween party is successful. So she doesn't make enough money as a result of everyone that came, but the town did chip in. She did have a selfie wall, which was suggested by Luke. And it turns out that that selfie wall ended up bringing a town to life, a town where so many businesses had closed down. Elise and Luke's work single-handedly brought the town to life in a way it had not been brought to life in over a decade and change. So for all of that, the bank ends up giving Elise her loan because the bank now sees the potential in Elise bringing this town alive, this town that's had a lot of losses, and the fact that she could take something that's so vintage and make it so 2024 with, and bring the town together at a time where they seem to be losing quite a lot of businesses, right? So here's the thing. Luke has to go back to help his mother with the merger for his company. He has to go back to New York City, and there is a moment where Elise finds out she didn't make the 15% profit. Like, she came just short of it. And as she's looking at her laptop and she's looking at the totals with one of her friends, she looks over and there goes Luke with his suitcase. They both knew he had to go back to New York City. He has to go back a little bit sooner because something went awry with the merger, and his mom said she needed him. And so in that moment, you could see that Elise's heart is broken in two ways. She's about to lose her grandparents and she realizes she has some feelings for this man, but he's going back to New York City. And here's the funny thing. He said to her, New York is not that far. And she actually replies, but it's far enough. Okay, what I tell you, there were some lines, there were some gems, there were some emotions where you have two people that want to be together, but they have got their goals and now they have to separate and they have to go back to reality. Next day, Elise finds out she is going to get that bank loan because she has the ability to turn Apple Hill around. And Luke finds out that the merger, his mom was able to handle the merger and everything went through just fine. And you know what his mother says? Son, I'm going to set you free. You need to go back to Elise because I would never stand in your way of you being happy. You were your happiest in that small rinky-dink town that I had ever seen you in New York City. So what does Luke do? He goes back to his little small town, but before he finds his small town honey, he goes and finds his friends that own the tavern, and he says he would like to help them expand and have multiple locations for the tavern. So he's already thinking of some new business ventures while respecting the fact that Elise is not his charity case. She wants to stand on her own 2 feet, and the only way this relationship can work is she has her passions, he has his passions, and then they come together. So once he gets the business idea together, he goes and he's standing outside of that bank in front of Elise's truck, and she tells him the good news that she got the loan, she saved Apple Hill, and she finally has met a man that understands how special Apple Hill is and understands why this is her dream. And yes, the two of them, well, not really right off in the sunset, but they end up playing a video game. Or more like it's like one of those games that you would see at David Buster, I guess. But they end up playing a game that they both love. They're a couple and they're happy. And I don't know, Autumn at Apple Hill was just so freaking spectacular. I am shocked. I hope Megan gets to watch it today because I'm going to be like checking my phone like, Megan, text me. Let me know if you did see this. Okay, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm really leaning towards doing Countdown to Christmas and Miracles of Christmas reviews because this movie reminded me of when Hallmark gets it right. They get it so freaking right that I feel super, super invested in the product. I am leaning towards it, but once again, leave a comment if you do want me to do Countdown to Christmas, Miracles of Christmas. For those of you that don't know, that's like 2.5 months of watching nothing but Christmas movies. And as a person that suffers from SAD, that is sometimes a hard feat. But in the last 2 years, we laughed, we cried together, and I think I want to do it again. I think I'm going to make a separate post about the Countdown to Christmas thing. All right, you guys tell me, did you watch Autumn at Apple Hill? How did you feel about it? Because, yeah, I think this is going to be the best fall movie this year. I know we have one more to go, but I just think it's not going to be able to beat this writing, acting, producing, directing. I think, you know what, Aaron and Wes, this is some good freaking work. That's all I'm going to say. This is amazing work. All right, guys. All right, I'm going to do the little Countdown to Christmas thing.